to hear it.
A place to save lives. What could be more important?
You are back. You are back, and you have completed the instruction. Alive. Of course, alive.
And the next step?
Now there is a decision. You have to make it. Do you commit to this path?
You are my trainer.
Haha, yes I am. Thank you. I will give you this knowledge, and you will use it to great effect. How could you not? You are the Inquisitor, and you will be a Rift Mage.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
Let's talk about...
The wardens.
Let's continue.
As you wish. We need to head to Adamant Fortress as soon as possible. If there's a chance we can stop Corypheus from destroying the wardens, we can't let it slip away.
What do you think we'll uncover in Adamant?
Nothing good. Hearing the Warden's plan was bad enough. Now we'll see it firsthand. Best case, we find a nightmare. Worst, we'll find a nightmare, then die painfully. I still can't believe what they're doing. I thought I understood the order.
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Why did you join the Wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect. We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe I could be one of them.
What did you do before you became a Warden?
I was a soldier, a nobody trained to wield a sword and follow orders. I grew weary of fighting other men's wars.
So you became a warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden was the first time I felt like I mattered. The life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
Your name, Blackwall, doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher, then? Ferelden?
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
I hear that many wardens were once criminals.
You're right. And when you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
Very well.
What can I do for you, Inquisitor?
Cassandra is waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
She's a pretty big fan, in fact.
Are we talking about the same Cassandra? Tall, grumpy seeker, like stabbing things? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
Well, Cassandra seems to be hooked on it.
And I honestly thought a hole in the sky was the weirdest thing that could happen. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
We must stop the Wardens from carrying out this insane plan, Inquisitor. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
And calling the army of demons. That's my favorite part.
The demons are nothing. They're a tool.
A tool that gives Corypheus an army.
That's not the point. Even if they could succeed, the entire idea is wrong. The Blight is not something one smugly outsmarts. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving.
Mix and match, pick your batch.
Serve the Lord who loaded his catapults with anvil.
It's good to see you.
I thought we might go somewhere a little more private for a while.
I have so much to do, but... Oh, let's do. After you.
This is where a smith should be.
Someone's turning into a bit of a dragon hunter, I've heard. Let's see what we have. Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. The workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
It's hardly the time for a lyrium shortage. Orzammar's mines need all the protection they can get.
I'd offer to go with you, but someone should keep watch. Plus, I could use the sun if this storm ever clears. The lift's ready for you. try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
Stupid darkspawn.
You're much more likely to hit rock.
Still their house. Message sent.
Is it me, or is this the slowest lift ever constructed?
It's better than climbing down.
I could do with some music. Something with a flute.
Palms calloused, clutching, clawing when the dust came.
The miners.
The stones were angry. I didn't think stones got angry.
Nalfric, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaper it welcomes you to the Deep Roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
Are there others around?
There's nothing to be done here but account for the dead. The rest are deeper into the roads. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp. are dangerous.
An ogre! It wants to hurt us!
returning the favor?
If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry. I will never get used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken. Seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Clear out the Darkspawn!
That's got him on their heels! Keep it up! The seal's clear! Prime the truck!
Now! Set the charges! Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
For such a small group, your people have held up well.
The Quakes took a lot of us. Reinforcements will be slow to arrive.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
How could an earthquake be caused deliberately?
We get plenty of natural tremors down here. These are different. She thinks she knows why.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity, but now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths. Or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
Dangerous, then. But a magic unique to the deep roads might be worth investigating.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense. And Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
So it's true. The king involved a surfacer.
The Inquisition is on everyone's lips. Even the Assembly has taken an interest. In his younger years, King Harrimont would have greeted you personally. But he is too old now for such a journey.
How does one become a shaper of memories?
I was born with a keen stone sense. It caught the Shaper's attention, but my passion for history earned me the title. It was never really a choice.
You seem quite excited by the idea that these titans may exist.
My connection to the stone allows me to hear it, but I can only listen. Titans can sing through the stone. It is extraordinary. We call ourselves children of the stone. What does that make the Titans?
What's life like in Orzammar?
I haven't lived in Orzammar for 3 years, but I receive updates. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know?
Do you miss living there?
I do sometimes. Particularly the easy access to a warm bath and clean clothes. But the importance of my work outweighs the comforts of the city.
How's the political climate in Orzammar?
There have been riots due to food shortages, but they will pass, I hope. I've no doubt some Deshers will try to use the situation for their own gain. But the king has a good hold over the Assembly.
What are Deshers?
Members of the Assembly, all noble-born. Through the Assembly, they govern Orzammar. The king presides over them.
A dwarf's caste seems to dictate their entire life in Orzammar.
I could bore you for hours about our society's castes and the tensions that go along with them. Simply put, citizens of Orzammar are born into a caste, and that is their lot in life. A member of the Smith caste can never join the warrior caste, and vice versa. Everything is predetermined.
There's no way for someone to change castes?
It is possible for a member of the lower caste to marry above their station. But only their children's caste will improve. Similarly, when dwarves are made casteless, so are their descendants.
That's enough about Orzammar.
Of course.
Thanks for the insight, Shaper.
My pleasure, Inquisitor.
We'll speak another time.
I've been meaning to ask, Inquisitor. Skyhold, how does it... well... hold in the sky? How do you keep it from floating away?
It's built into a mountain.
Held by the stone, then.
Shaper Volta said you're a veteran of the Blight.
I was a wet-nosed recruit.
But you survived.
Swing your axe long enough, you're bound to hit something.
You must have racked up a few stories.
Maybe when this is all over, I'll have the time and ale to tell them.
Most of Ren's stories end with decapitation.
I'm an efficient guy.
A historian and a soldier. That's an unlikely friendship.
What makes you think we're friends?
The bickering.
Fair enough. Volta's got the stones of a silent sister. Doesn't mean I won't give her a hard time.
I'd like to know more about the Legion of the Dead.
The Legion's pretty straightforward. We keep the Darkspawn out of Orzammar, and we're sodding good at it. Becoming a Legionnaire is a lifelong oath, one that can't be broken. We celebrate our own funerals before coming to the Deep Roads. As far as our families in Orzammar are concerned, we're already dead. Hence the name.
Well, that's quite the commitment.
It isn't a glamorous life. Every Legionnaire has their own reasons for joining. From the common criminal to the Deep Lord with illusions of grandeur. All are accepted.
What about you? Why did you join?
I had a responsibility.
Thanks for your time.
Come on, Krim. I'm working my ass off trying to get you to see that move.
You still got plenty of arse left, Chief. Your worship.
Glad you came by. I got a letter from my contacts in the Ben Hasrath. Already verified it with Red.
Do you want to discuss this alone?
Not like I was hiding it from my boys. Besides, right now, I need to hit something.
You know they've got training dummies, Chief.
The training dummy might actually defend itself against the shield bash. Anyway, the Ben Hasrath letter.
What did the letter say?
The Ben Hasrath have been reading my reports. They don't like Corypheus or his Venatori. And they really don't like Red Lyrium. They're ready to work with us. With you, boss. The Qunari and the Inquisition, joining forces.
That could be a powerful alliance.
My people have never made a full-blown alliance with a foreign power before. This would be a big step. They found a massive Red Lyrium shipping operation out on the coast.
They wanted us to hit it together. Talked about bringing in one of their dreadnoughts. Always wanted to see one of those big warships in action.
Did you see that? Go get some water. They're worried about tipping the smugglers, so no army. My charges, you, maybe some backup.
What does this alliance really get us?
They wouldn't use the word alliance if they didn't mean it. Naval power. More Ben Hasrath reports. Kunari soldiers pointed at the Venatori. It could do a lot of good.
You don't seem entirely happy about this.
No, I'm good. It's... I'm used to them being over there. It's been a while.
I thought Kunari wanted to extend their reach to the whole world.
Yeah. Just didn't think I'd see it. Look, the Qun answers a lot of questions. It's a good life for a lot of people. But it's a big change, and a lot of folks here wouldn't do so well under that kind of life. I guess it's not like we're converting. This is just us joining forces against Corypheus. On that front, I think we're good.
I think the Inquisition could use some help from the Kunari.
Good. I'll pass on word to Cullen and Red. We can set up the meeting whenever you're ready.
Inquisitor. Your worship.